delivered, top price for our beef, beautiful San Francisco weather. What more could we ask?
A few days out of the saddle.
By golly, we'll have that, too. Listen, as a change from Hop Sink's chuck wagon, I'm throwing a little supper party tonight. Oysters, steak, champagne, the works. After that, 5 days for all of us in San Francisco with nothing to do but have a good time.
Oh, that's what I've been waiting to hear you say.
What's the matter, Johnny?
Mr. Cartwright, I think you made a mistake here. I got too much pay.
No, you haven't. You and Ham both deserve a bonus. Now, you're going to have a good time, but remember, this is not the Ponderosa, it's San Francisco, so be careful.
Thanks, boss, but don't worry about us. Well, after riding trail with these boys of yours, this town is going to seem downright tame.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Come on, Ham.
Don't be late for supper. Fine boys. Now, with hands like Johnny and Ham, we won't have any trouble running the Ponderosa. Come on, let's get back to the hotel.
Have some fun.
Ham, I'm beginning to like this San Francisco town. You know something? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy that sweet wife of mine a whole bolt of Chinese silk.
Silk? You say silk?
I said silk. Nothing too good for that sweet wife of mine.
Gentlemen, I just happened to overhear. Now, as you see by my card, I'm a silk merchant, and I just happen to have a brand new shipment from the Orient. It's the home of the silkworm. Now, if you'll follow me to my establishment...
Why, sure, neighbor.
Yes, gentlemen, right back here. I have my shop because it's wholesale. Right this way, gentlemen. I hope Shanghai Pete takes them off my hands. That ship sails for Hong Kong at midnight. Take them in, boys.
That's very strange. Johnny and Ham should be here by now.
Worry about them two, Paul. They'll be here. They ain't gonna turn down free oysters and champagne, I'll guarantee you.
He's right, Pa. Hey, you know, I feel kind of guilty.
Oh? Why?
Well, here we are. Having ourselves a big time while Adam's home working himself to death.
Oh?
Yeah, doggone it, I do too, Paul.
Really? Well, it's too bad you boys didn't think about that before you rigged those straws you drew to see who'd come on this trip.
Hey, Paul. What about Hop Sing? Is he gonna come along?
Oh, I doubt that very much. He's got 100 relatives in town he wants to visit.
We sure will help Johnny to hurry up and get back. After supper, me and little Joe sort of figured we'd go over one of them places where they got them good-looking waiter gals.
Yeah, now you're talking, brother.
Now you're talking, brother. If you think I'm going to let you and little Joe wander around the Barbary Coast at night alone, you've got yourself another thing coming. This is San Francisco. It's a big city, and it's a wild city.
Yeah, but Paul, you let Hamp and Johnny go.
Well, you're not Hamp and Johnny. Haven't you ever heard of Shanghaiing?
Yeah, it's got something to do with sailors, doesn't it?
You know there isn't a ship in this harbor that isn't short of sailors. You could be slugged over the head and on your way to Singapore before you ever knew what happened.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Oh.
No, really, there's a lot of good-looking women in Singapore.
In Singapore, but not on board a ship. And how'd you like to eat nothing more than sour salt pork for more than a year?
I wouldn't like that.
No, I guess not. Well, you boys take care of yourselves. This is San Francisco. It isn't the Ponderosa.
There's Hamp and Johnny now.
It's about time.
Hop Sing. I thought you were with your relatives.
Something wrong, Hop Sing?
Not know for sure. The number 3 cousin, he see 2 cowboy go in alley. Hit on head, not come out. Cousin, come quick, tell Hop Sing. Think maybe it's Mr. Hamp and Mr. Johnny.
Hamp and Johnny?
Wait a minute. What makes you think it might be Hamp and Johnny?
They not in hotel room.
Well, maybe Horse and I ought to check on it.
I think we'll all check it.
They're probably just over in some saloon having themselves a good time.
Four more before midnight if you want to get paid. That'll be all, boys. Cowboys. What can I do to make them look more like sailors?
Oh, Hoss. Any luck?
Not a bit, Paul.
Any luck?
Nothing.
Well, I'm going to the police.
Hey, listen, you mind if Horse and I have a look around some more?
Well, I guess it doesn't take four of us to talk to a policeman. Just a moment now. Remember, this is not the Ponderosa, so you two stay out of trouble. Do you understand?
Oh, Pa, you know us better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just one old drink.
Are you the man in charge here?
What can I do for you?
My name is Cartwright, Ben Cartwright. I just drove a herd of cattle across the Sierra.
Well, San Francisco can certainly use a decent beefsteak.
Oh, Sergeant, I didn't come here to discuss beefsteaks. Two of my top hands have disappeared.
Well, it does happen.
Well, is this or isn't it the San Francisco Police Department?
It's exactly that.
Well, I just told you, two of my top hands have disappeared, and I've come here for help.
And I suppose you expect me to drop everything and go find them, hmm?
Well, yes, that's exactly it.
Mr. Cartwright, men are always disappearing in this city.
And you do nothing to try to find out what happened to him?
Do you realize how many policemen it would take to keep an eye on every Shanghai hideout on the Barbary Coast?
Well, Sergeant, I'm not interested in how many men it would take. I came here for help.
Mr. Cartwright, this is a seaport. Ships come here from all over the world. Ships need sailors.
Oh, sailors, yes, but not cowboys.
Oh, you'd be surprised how many cowboys become sailors. Now, I suggest that you do as all the ship captains do when they find themselves short-handed. Set out and find yourself a new crew.
Do you sit here and condone the buying and selling of human beings?
I don't condone it, but I don't have enough men to do anything about it, so I accept it as an unfortunate fact. Now, please, if you'll excuse me.
All right, Sergeant. You mark my words. I'm going to find those two men of mine, with or without your help.
All right, you go right ahead. But I warn you, look out.
Hey, we're getting pretty close to that waterfront, ain't we?
Figure it out. If you were going to Shanghai somebody and put them on a ship, where would you take them? Out on the desert?
What do you keep talking about Shanghai for, little Joe? You know as well as I do that Hamp and Johnny are right around here in some of these little joints. The only thing is these bartenders don't seem to want to give out much information, do they?
That's because they're all in cahoots.
Oh, quit worrying. Come on.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Look, we're not going to get anywhere this way. Boss, why don't you cover that side of the street? I'll take this side. Hopsing, go check with your cousins, see if they've seen anything.
Not think it could you boys be here on Barbary Coast.
You're as bad as Paul Hopsing. Now, I've heard tell a man can have himself a lot of fun down here on this Barbary Coast.
Hey, well, you know, brother, I've heard the same thing.
Get going, Hopsing.
I'm looking for a couple of friends of mine. I thought they might have come in here. Two cowboys.
Sonny, we serve out drinks here, not information.
Yeah, well, I just
And
thought...
you look too young to drink, so Why don't you get out of here?
Wait a minute, all I... Thank you.
Too many questions being asked around here. I think I better tell Mr. Pernell.
Oh, Mr. Cartwright.
Yes, Mr. Cartwright. Where's Hoss and Little Joe?
They go Barbary Coast.
What?
Not good. On Barbary Coast, hit, slice, cut, push. Very dangerous. Shanghai.
Oh, Little Joe didn't have enough sense to know that. Hoss should have. Why didn't you tell him?
I tell him. He say look like fun.
Look like fun. Better find those two before they get into some real trouble. Barbary Coast.
Hobson, go find cousin.
Joseph! Well, at least I found one of you. Now where's your brother?
Oh, he's looking for Hamp and Johnny.
Didn't I tell you two to stay together?
Oh, we thought it would go faster this way.
Isn't that Hoss? Hoss, didn't I tell you to stay out of trouble?
Oh, I ain't no trouble. This here's Busthead Brannigan. He's a box fight champion of the whole Barbary Coast. Come on, Mr. Busthead, wake up.
Hey, you mean you did this for money?
Sure. I told you it's gonna be fun down on this Barbary Coast, little Joe. Look there, more than $100. Makes me madder than mischief to think about how much talent I done wasted for free. Come on, Mr. Busthead, wake up. Come on. Come on. Mr. Busthead, like I told you, I don't want your championship. It was nice of you to offer to help us. Come on. Mr. Busthead, I want you to meet my pa. Busthead Brannigan, this is my pa.
No, over here.
Mr. Busthead?
Champion?
Oh, you're a real fine feller.
Well, champ, have you any conceivable idea of the seriousness of the situation we're in?
Serious? Paul, you still think Johnny and Hamp are in trouble?
I don't think it. I know it.
Hey, you mean Shanghai?
Yes, I'm in Shanghai.
Dad, burn it. Let's tear this dang town apart,
We'll
then.
do no such thing. We're not going to invite trouble unless it's forced on us. And that goes for you two particularly.
Well, just don't stand there making a spectacle of yourself. Go get your clothes on.
Get your shirt on.
Mr. Busthead, it's a real pleasure meeting you.
You'll be a great champion.
Mr. Hoss. Mr. Hoss, number 3 cousin, he like to talk to you.
何先生，我好歡喜有機會嚟見你，你真係強壯啊！我一世未見到人有咁強壯㗎。
Ain't it something, old Hop Sing's relatives being so dang glad to meet me?
Why not? He win $100 on fight. You all be careful.
Huh?
Cousin say everybody on Barbary Coast talk about man and 2 sons. Say they ask too many questions.
Hey, everybody's in cahoots. I don't see how we're ever going to find out anything.
Well, we won't find out anything if the three of us keep barging in like we're going to tear the place apart.
Now, we used to do it that way.
Well, it won't work now. Now, you two boys, you get back to the hotel and you stay there and don't move until you hear from me. I'm going to see what I can find out alone.
Hey, Paul, don't you think we want to go along with you?
No, I don't. If I find out anything, I'll send Hop Sing for you.
Paul, you stay out of trouble, you hear?
You make sure you listen to your own advice, young man. You too. Go on, Hop Sing.
嚟啊！嚟啊！
Sure hope Pa knows what he's doing.
Don't you worry about Paul. He knows what he's done.
You boys wait here. Well, fine looking place. place you have here.
Thank you. We try to keep it up.
Yeah. If it isn't too much bother, could you make me a brandy squash, please?
No bother at all. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you. Now, there's a surprise.
What's the matter? Something wrong?
Wrong? Why, sir, this is the finest brandy squash I've ever tasted in my life. And I've tasted them all the way from New York to Chicago to New Orleans.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
It's an art. Bartending. It's an art. Not many men have the talent for it. Did you ever work in New Orleans?
No, can't say as I have.
Oh, too bad. Why, a man with your talent could demand any wage he asks for. Yes, sir. Fine profession, bartending. And you meet a mighty lot of interesting people.
All kinds, no doubt about it.
Yes, I can imagine. I wager that with drinks like this, practically everybody in town drops in here one time or another.
Well, we get our share.
I have two friends in town I just gotta bring in here and show them what a good drink really tastes like. Say, I wonder if they've been in here already.
Well, I got a pretty good memory for faces.
A couple of cowboys. They work up on a ranch in the Sierras. Drove a herd of cattle into town.
Let's see now. You say, I want to get this straight. You say that there were two of them.
That's right. Those two are inseparable. Two of the best hands they ever had.
Well, hello. My name is Alexander Pendleton. I'm the proprietor of this establishment. I don't believe I've had the pleasure of seeing you in here before.
No, I think not. My name's Ben Cartwright. I've just been complimenting your bartender on the excellence of his drinks.
Well, that's very kind of you. Why don't we go down to the end of the bar? It'll be quieter, more comfortable.
Fine.
Over in the corner's better.
Thanks. You say your name is Pendleton?
Yes, Alexander Pendleton. Would you care for another drink?
Well, thank you.
Bartender?
Yes, sir. A real squash this time.
For the road.
Boss, are you sure you know what you're doing? Haven't you had enough trouble with those two cowboys you bought from Cartwright Joe? That's their boss. You just dropped through the floor.
I need 3 more men to fill out Captain Shark's crew. And I don't prefer to buy them from Cartwright Joe. And if you're thinking of asking for a raise, don't. The man was lying to you. You make the worst drinks in town.
Boss, I'm getting worried. They've been going over an hour.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Little Joe. If we don't hear from Hop Sing or Paul One in the next 15 minutes, I'm just about ready to go down there and tear this dang Barbary Coast apart board for board. Where's Paul?
Not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure?
Where'd you leave him?
Mr. Cartwright tell Hop Sing wait. Hop Sing wait a long time. Mr. Cartwright no come back. Hop Sing worry. Come see you boy.
Hop Sing, you shouldn't ought to done that. Paul comes out of there and you ain't there. What's he gonna do?
Number 5 cousin wait.
Well, Joe, you don't reckon anything's wrong with Paul?
Pa, don't worry. He can take care of himself.
Cartwright, huh?
Johnny, you boys all right?
Yeah, all right.
How did they get you in here?
You'd never believe it. After me telling the boys to stay out of trouble.
I know what you mean.
Oh, if Johnny hadn't wanted to buy that silk for his wife, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Well, never mind about that now, Ham. The point is, how can we get out of this mess?
There's nothing we can do. You raise a fuss, they come in and beat you over the head.
I've got some fine sailors for you, Captain.
Excellent, excellent. It sounds like that Mr. Pendleton.
Well, you promised me 6. There are only 3.
You've got to give me time.
I need those men. My ship sails at midnight.
Mr. Pendleton.
Excuse me.
I want to make a deal with you.
A deal, Mr. Cartwright?
I don't know what you expect to get for us, but whatever it is, I'll pay you twice that amount if you let us out of here.
Twice?
Fair enough?
Oh, no, you don't. A contract is a contract. You agreed to give me 6 men.
So I did. An interesting offer, Mr. Cartwright, but due to circumstances beyond my control...
3 times the going price.
A contract is a contract if you want my business in the future.
As you say, a contract is a contract.
Good. The one who's talking, he isn't drunk.
Or perhaps he just holds his liquor well.
You know my principles.
Don't want him, huh?
The 2 sailors, yes. The sober one, no. Unless you get me 4 more men within the hour, I'll take my business to Cut Rate Joe.
All right, boys, come get them.
Mr. Cartwright, I feel pretty low down about all this.
Oh, John, it's my fault for not keeping us all together.
All right, come on, let's go.
Don't do it, Mr. Cartwright. You'll just be getting a beating for nothing.
Believe me, it's best.
All right, come on.
Look, boys, we'll get out of this somehow. My boys are bound to be looking for me now.
No, not that one. The captain turned him down cold.
Come on, let's go.
Have any luck?
Not a dud burn bit.
Unless I'm getting worried.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting just about ready to tear this dad blame town apart. Come on, little Joe.
I brought you something to eat.
Well, I'm not hungry.
Oh, well, you better be. You know, Shanghai Pete is pretty mad about not being able to sell you.
The Shanghai Pete, is that what that Mr. Pendleton calls himself?
Oh, well, you got it wrong end, too. Shanghai Pete sometimes calls himself Mr. Pendleton.
Mr. Pendleton.
You better eat this. What's all right? It ain't got no knockout drops in it. You're real quality, ain't you?
What?
Oh, well, I mean is, we don't get your kind in here often. Mostly drunks, sailors and farmers and cowboys like them other 2.
Well, I'll have you know that them other two the finest men I've ever known. Just because they happen to go out in a little celebration.
It wasn't a little one. It was a real good one. Oh, I don't know why men have to act up so. It just gets them in trouble. I wish someday I'd find just one man who wasn't always wanting to get into trouble. Oh, well.
Wait a minute. Don't go.
What? Why not?
Sit down. What's your name?
Kathleen.
Kathleen. Well, that's a right pretty name.
I think so. Your name is Ben Cartwright, ain't it?
Kathleen, tell me, what's a nice girl like you doing in a place like this?
Ain't that funny? So many men have asked me the same question. And I've given it a lot of thought. And I think the reason is I like the money.
Well, you're certainly an honest sort.
You think so, really?
Oh, yeah. Why are you surprised?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes, you know, you can't just trust everybody.
Well, Kathleen, I trust you.
Oh, I was sort of hoping you would.
Kathleen, now tell me, if this Shanghai Pete or Mr. Pendleton or whatever his name is, if he sells me, do you get anything out of it?
No, I don't. Not a penny.
Well, wouldn't you like to?
Oh, yes, I would. I've been asking to be put on commission.
Kathleen, if you help me out of here...
Mercy, no.
Well, I have the money.
Well, I don't see how you could. Wait, the men that brought you in here picked your pocket first.
I mean, I don't have it with me, but I own a ranch. I can get all the money I want without any trouble.
Oh. How much?
If you help me get out of here and tell me where I can find the other two men, $500.
$500?
$500.
You wouldn't back out.
Oh, I give you my word. The money's at my hotel. If you help me get out of here, you get the $500.
You know something, Mr. Cartwright?
What?
I was thinking about getting you out of here the minute I came in.
You'll help me then, Kathleen.
I'll be back in a little while.
God burn it, Joe, this ain't no good.
I know.
Ain't getting us no place.
Look, you're going down to the corner. See if Hop Sing knows anything new. If he doesn't come on back, and the two of us will take this place apart.
That's what we should have done in the first place. My temper's on a short fuse, Joe. I can just feel it.
Well, you're not alone, brother. Hurry up.
Hop Sing, you heard anything new?
It's very bad news.
What do you mean?
Number 5 cousin, he see Mr. Ben go in saloon. No see Mr. Ben come out.
What saloon?
That one, on other corner.
Hop Sing, are you right sure?
Very sure. Have more bad news. Number 6 cousin, he work on dock. He say ship short-handed, no can sail. Ship now ready. Hop Sing think maybe Mr. Johnny, Mr. Hemp, no longer cowboy. Is sailor man now. Hop Sing think maybe Mr. Ben sailor man too. Mr. Hoss, where you go?
I'm going over that Y-to-B saloon.
You better wait for little Joe. You only one man.
Yeah, well, that ain't but one saloon, is it? Mister, I want me some information. I want it straight, and I want it quick. Now, mister, you better get to talking. Otherwise, I'm going to twist your diesel pipe out. My pa was seen coming into this saloon, and he wasn't seen coming out. Now, where is he? You two better just stand right where you are. Otherwise, you're going to be waking up with somebody tapping you in the face with a spade. Now, mister. I'm looking for Ben Cartwright and 2 of my best friends.
Here, what's going on here?
What is this?
Mister, you're going to find out what it is if I don't get me some information in quick.
Well, now, is this any way to get it? This is a respectable establishment, son. I'm the proprietor, Alexander Pendleton. Have I had the pleasure of seeing you in here before?
Don't make no difference whether you have or not. I want me some answers.
Now, son, please try to calm yourself down. What is it you want?
I want my pa. His name's Ben Cartwright and 2 of his ranch hands.
Then why all the shouting? I talked to Mr. Cartwright just a short time ago. Told him where he could find his men.
Mister, are you telling me the truth?
Now, why would I have any reason to lie to you? Won't you please put that thing away? I have a reputation to maintain here. That's better.
Don't you forget, I can draw it out again right quick.
Laddie Buck, I'm only trying to help you. Do you want to hear about your father or not?
I reckon I did get a little too excited. But dad burn it, I've been worried plumb sick.
Well, now, why don't you try to calm yourself down? Everything's all right. Here. Why don't we come down here at the end of the bar?
What's the plan? Relax.
Have a drink. Bartender? What'll you have?
Well, I'll have a beer if it's all the same to you, sir.
Down the hatch.
Yes.
A fine piece of merchandise.
Here, matey. Let me give you a hand.
Oh, well, thank you, matey. There.
I can't swim.
Well, now, this is going to be real interesting, ain't it? I got a funny feeling like like you standing down here waiting for me to fall down through that hole in the floor.
No.
I'm getting a stranger feeling that I ain't the only member of my family that's been down through that hole tonight.
No. Oh, no.
Have you seen a man with gray hair and dark eyes and a deep voice?
I can't remember.
You better start remembering, Buster, because I'm a cowboy. I ain't no sailor. And I like dry land. There's one way I can get it that I can think of, and that's holding you under till you drink all the water in this bay. You starting to remember? Yeah, that's real good. You just took the first step to establishing a basis of a friendship between me and you. Now, where's my paw?
We'd better hurry. They'll be back in a minute.
Kathleen, I'll never forget you for this.
Oh, I believe that. You're a friend of mine.
Remember, you promised to help me find my men.
Oh, you're fine.
Kathleen, what is this? Explain to them.
Well, Cartwright Joe, let's get on to business.
But you work for Mr. Pendleton.
I work where I make a buck.
You do.
Look sound to wind and limb.
You know me. High-class merchandise. Don't do that, Mr. Cartwright. You're worth less if you're all battered up.
Double-crossing witch.
Well, quick, Buck Katie, how much do you want for him?
$100.
100? I offered you 500.
And then turn me into the police afterward. Oh, I know the likes of your kind. $150. The price has gone up.
Oh, come now, quick, Buck. You know better than that. This is stolen merchandise.
This is carriage trade, and you know it.
Double-crossing rats, the lot of you.
He won't be too easy to turn over. I'll have to buy him new clothes. The overhead has eaten me up, Katie.
All right. I'll make it half price, $75, and it's a deal. But only because I've got to get back to the store before I miss.
Quick, Buck, you're a thief, and you know it. But I do need the merchandise.
Oh, quiet, Mr. Cartwright, quiet. You'll see your crew. That's what you want, ain't it? See you later, Cartwright. Have a pleasant trip, Mr. Cartwright.
All right, boys, let's see what we can do with it.
Across the door. Nobody come in this room but Quick Buck Kate when she brought Cartwright his supper.
Oh, hello, sweetie.
Don't sweetie me, you little double-crosser. You sold Cartwright to Cutwright.
But, darling, only because it was costing you money to keep him. All that good food. And especially if you couldn't sell him quick.
Now, don't do that.
I wouldn't cheat you, sweetheart, now would I?
I'm not so sure.
Oh, little Katie wouldn't hold out on Shanghai Pete. Here you are. See?
$25. Is that all you got for him?
Captain Shark already turned him down, and Cartwright Joe's going to be stuck with him. No, you're not mad at little Katie now, are you?
Lucky for you, you caught me in a good mood. Besides, I've got another Cartwright. And is he a beauty? A live one, a real live one. All right, bring him in, boys.
I don't see my paw. Where is he?
Now, wait a minute, laddie. Wait a minute. Your dad isn't here.
Where's my paw?
Now, listen. Cartwright. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Where's my paw?
Hopsy! Relax. Now, what happened?
Mr. Hoss, he go in saloon. Long time no come out. Hobson go in saloon, no see Mr. Hoss. Something happened, Mr. Hoss, too.
What saloon? Forget it.
arms off of me, or I'll blow your head off.
Hey, Joe, that ain't no way to treat a lady.
Well, you know, brother, I think you're right.
As I told you, I've seen this man before and turned him down.
Not at this price, Captain. Only $100. I'm letting him go to sacrifice because I'm after your future business. Besides, your ship sails at midnight.
Cut rate, Joe, you know my principles. I'm a fair man and a temperance man.
I'm not offering you a drink. I'm offering you a sailor.
I'm not a
Sir,
sailor.
I do not approve of the practice of Shanghaiing.
Then what are you doing with two of my men?
I would not resort to it except I find myself so often short-handed.
Now, what kind of an excuse is that?
Sir, I have dedicated my life to stamping out the evils of drink. It is abominable. Any man who is so drunk that he doesn't know what's happening to him deserves to be shanghaied. This man is perfectly sober. I can't use him.
Well, thank you, Captain. I can't say I agree with all of your principles, but...
Take a smell, Captain.
The reek of demon rum is nauseating to me. This man is obviously drunk. I'll take him.
All right, boys.
All right, what's your part in this?
Honestly, I just happened to be walking by.
Well, you just better happen to start remembering a few more things.
Oh, now, laddie, you wouldn't be harming little me, would you?
That's such a beautiful arm. It'd be a shame to tear it off.
Oh.
Start talking.
I don't know what you want to know.
We want to know about a man named Ben Cartwright.
Oh, I don't know. I sold him.
Sold him? Where?
To Cartwright Road. Down the street in Embarcadero Alley.
You sold our Paul?
Yes.
How much did you get for him?
Oh, horse, for Pete's sake, who cares how much you got for him? Let's get down to this Cartwright Joe's before Pa and the boys are on their way to China.
Let me get my hat.
Little Joe, Mr. Horse, this cousin number 3. He see Mr. Ben. They take Mr. Ben away on ship. They find him a Louis later. Okay. You follow me. Come.
Don't fight it, Mr. Cartwright. Just ain't no use.
Johnny hadn't wanted to buy some silk for his wife, he wouldn't be in this mess.
Oh, we've been in worse messes. Back in the Ponderosa, and we've always been able to get out of them.
I know it. My heart just ain't in it.
Well, my heart is in it. And after what I've been through, the ship and 40 sailors is beginning to look pretty small.
Captain! Captain! I demand to see your captain. Come on now, we'll Where's your captain?
I want to see you. Sailor, in the future, if you want to see me, you come to me. Don't send for me. It isn't done.
Oh, it isn't it? Well, you listen to me.
Have you ever heard of mutiny?
Mutiny? Why, you're worse than a pirate. You and your high principles and your temperance, I'll see to it that your license is revoked on every sea in the face of this earth.
Just who do you think you are?
I'm Ben Cartwright of the Ponderosa.
The Ponderosa?
The Ponderosa.
I know it well, Captain. A four-masted schooner out of New Orleans.
The Ponderosa is a ranch.
A ranch? I always wanted a little chicken ranch. There's a place up in Santa Rosa.
Now, I'm an American citizen. I know my rights on board of every ship.
Take Mr. Ben on that ship.
I have enough men in those mountains to sink every ship in this harbor, and so help me, I'll do it.
That's our pa's voice. Music to my ears.
Just like a bugle call saying charge.
Let's go.
You keep a civil tongue. Avenge, lovers, we're being boarded!
Hey, Paul, where you been hiding? Huh? Where you been hiding?
Hang on, all away, Humphrey!
No, son.
Oh, I thought I told you to stay out of trouble.
Well, it took you fellas long enough to find me.
Here, son.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh. Toss?
I'd darn sight rather eat it, Paul.
I know.
Paul, how much that little red-headed gal get for you?
I wouldn't tell him, Pa. If she did get enough, we might want to sell you back. If she didn't get enough, you wouldn't want to admit it, would you?
Very funny. Come in.
Hi. Here are your clothes, Mr. Cartwright.
Oh, how'd you get them? We had a little business left to finish with Cut Rate Joe.
Yes, I see that.
You know what that little weasel was doing? He's going back into business. Second-hand clothes.
He was trying to sell our outfits.
Come in.
Mr. Johnny, have surprise for you. Number 7 cousin in silk business. Make you present. 1 fold fine China silk for your wife.
Oh, gee, I sure would like to have me a courting shade made out of that.
I wouldn't do it, Hamp. Silk can get a man in a whole lot of trouble.
Well, at least we're all together again.
Oh, yes, thanks, boss, for everything.
And tomorrow morning, bright and early, we're going to start out on a little vacation. How about it?
Oh, Pa, I'd just as soon we went back to the Ponderosa.
Well, you're the one who was yelling about getting a vacation.
I know, but a vacation's time for a change, isn't it?
Yeah?
Oh, I think I got my change.
Us?
Well, Paul, if it's all the same to you, there's a little den of wildcats on the Ponderosa I think I'd rather tangle with than any more of these city folks.
You mean you want to go back to work?
Well, I reckon I do, Paul, and that way we could let old Adam have a vacation.
Well, all right, then. Tomorrow morning, bright and early, we'll head back to the Ponderosa.
Hopsing have one more big surprise. Number 9 cousin is cook in hotel dining room. Hopsing help fix special fine supper. Oyster, champagne, steak.
Hey, what are we waiting for? Let's get cleaned up. We'll get down to the dining room. Come on.
Oh, no, you stay right here. Hopsing bring up. You no leave a hotel room. You go Barbary Coast. Very dangerous. Hit, slice, kick, push, Shanghai.
You know, I think he's got something there with that.
Hey, Paul. Sure enough, how much did that little gal get for you?
You'll never know.
Todd McCarran. Wonder what he's up to now.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's ask him. Let's go.
Why the surveying, Todd?
Any law against surveying my own property line?
Never any doubt in our mind about its location?
Well, maybe there will be in the mind of the new owner.
Well, you mean your father's selling out?
Not my father, me. To Len Keith.
Len Keith? I thought he only bought mining property.
That's what he thinks this could be.
Todd, we have a water rights agreement with your father in the use of this stream. If Keith uses it for mining, it'll poison out some of our best bottom land.
Seems that's your worry, Ben, not mine.
Now, just a minute.
Let go. You Cartwrights have shoved us around for the last 20 years.
You're a liar.
Wait a minute. There are better ways to settle this.
As I see it, it's already been settled.
Ben, old Hobsing had a real good meal fixed for you.
And you decided not to let it go to waste and ate it all, huh?
How'd you know that?
What are you doing reading a book?
The care and training of dogs.
Oh, a little old stray pup wandered in here, and I've been trying to figure out how to take care of it.
I thought you were an expert on things like that.
Oh, Paul, there's so dang many new scientific ideas that natural know-how just ain't no good no more.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you can say that about Todd McCarran, too. I thought I knew him pretty well.
Why? What's the matter with Todd?
Oh, I don't know. Growing pains, likely. Where's that pouch of Virginia tobacco I got?
Don't look at me. I didn't smoke it.
I thought you were saving us tobacco for Andy McCarran's birthday.
Well, I was, but no reason a man can't have a birthday a few days early.
I'm gonna ride over to Andy and have a talk with him about Todd.
Oh, wish Mr. McCarran a happy birthday for me, too, will you?
I will.
Who is it?
It's Ben, Andy.
Oh, come on in, Ben. The door's not locked. Doggone, it's good to see you.
Well, doggone, good to see you too, Andy.
It's been a long time.
It has that. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm practically stuck to this chair, but what's the difference?
Good to see you. Brought you some of that good southern tobacco. Take the bite out of your pipe.
Thanks, Ben. Hey, smells good.
This fire of yours feels good. Ran into Todd today.
Yeah? I turned the running of things over to him. I had to face up to it. I'm just not up to handling things anymore.
Todd was saying you're thinking some of selling out.
You know how kids are. Always trying to get ahead fast, but I figure when it comes to selling, he'll want to stay on this land as much as I do.
Well, I hope you're right, Andy. I guess I got a little upset when he told me he was thinking of selling out to Len Keith.
Well, I'd be surprised if he mentioned any other name. He's so sweet on Len Keith's daughter that, well, he doesn't know his own name half the time.
Well, she's a fine girl. Todd seemed pretty determined to sell.
That he is. Ben, you have boys your own. A man's got to let his son grow up, even if he doesn't always agree with him.
Oh, you're right there. I was just thinking that if Keith ever did start mining operations on your property, it would pile up the water in that stream to where it would poison half the cattle in my range.
Oh, it won't come to that, Ben. I've got cattle of my own using that stream.
Well, we're getting older, Andy.
You are that.
I remember when you brought your family here. I figured that plan to share the water in that stream would outlast both our lifetimes.
It's the truth, so did I.
Well, I see you didn't waste any time, Mr. Cartwright.
Todd, is that a way to behave?
I don't like people talking behind my back.
Ben came here to talk, not fight. It won't hurt you to listen.
What for? I know what he's going to say. We're just one big happy family as long as he's the boss and we do what we're told. You've been listening to that all of your life, Pa.
Todd, I've never known your father to back away from me or any other man long as I've known him.
What's he doing? Talking over old times so that you won't forget the little things you might owe him, so you'll feel ashamed to let me sell out?
Todd!
He's been doing that to some of the others around here, only they haven't had the belly to stand up to him.
That's enough. Ben Cartwright's the best friend we ever had, and you know it.
He's no friend of ours.
You apologize.
Andy, never mind.
No, Ben. This is still my house, and I won't have it shamed.
Your house, your land. This wonderful land that killed Ma before her time and crippled you so you can hardly walk. All right, keep it. Love it. Run on it for all I care.
I'm afraid I'll have to apologize to you myself, Ben.
I figured that if I come by, it might help. Guess it hurt more. Andy, now, we don't have too much ready cash in the Ponderosa this time of year, what with it being tied up in the herd and all, but, well, if it's selling out that Todd is so concerned about...
Ben, you know how Todd would feel about any offer coming from you?
I suppose he'd just think I'd been waiting for the opportunity to buy you out. Pretty sad thing when two old friends can't discuss business without their motives being questioned.
It's much deeper than that, Ben. Len Keith has no intention of using this land for ranching. He's offered Todd a partnership. He's got the boy all fired up with ideas of becoming another silver baron.
Andy, now do you believe deep down in your heart that there's any chance of silver on this land?
No, Ben, no more than you do.
No.
But Len Keith is a mining man, and he thinks there may be silver, and he's got the boy thinking it, too.
Well, doesn't Todd realize that Keith is just speculating? That's what he always does. Buys up as much land as he can possibly get a hold of in the hope that some of it'll pay off. Ruins the land.
He's ruined much more than land, Ben. He's ruined many men with him on his way up. And this time, it could be my son.
Wouldn't want that to happen, Andy, any more than you do.
Thank you, Ben.
I didn't expect you till this evening.
I have to see your father.
Is something wrong?
Yes.
Hello, Todd. How's my future son-in-law?
Disgusted if you want to know the truth.
Oh, well, come on in and tell me about it. Maybe I can help you. What is it?
Mr. Keefe, I can't sell out to you.
Oh, why not? Does your father feel that I didn't offer you enough for the property?
Oh, it's not that. He made a water rights agreement with Ben Cartwright 20 years ago.
I see. The Cartwrights, eh? What's the matter with them? They feel that we're going to muddy up their pretty little stream?
It's getting to be you can't make a move in this country without Ben Cartwright's permission.
Well, I suppose you can't blame a man for looking out after his own interests.
What about my interests? Mine and Virginia's. Where are we going to get the money to get married?
Todd, you know money isn't important to me as long as we're together.
My mother felt that way. She died when she was 26 years old, helping my father try to make something of this land.
Todd, I can always find a job for you in one of my mining companies.
A man has to make it on his own, Mr. Keefe. You ought to know that. It's what you did, isn't it?
I certainly did. That's the way I like to hear you talk. Now, don't worry about it. I'm sure we can get your father to see it our way.
Not if Ben Cartwright's doing his thinking for him, we won't.
But the Cartwrights have always seemed like reasonable people to me.
You just know them in a social way, Virginia. You've never dealt with them on a business level.
Don't worry. I'm not going to let Ben Cartwright stand in the way of the happiness of my 2 children.
Here, Shorty. Come on, boy. Here, Shorty. Come on, boy. Come on, puppy. Come on, Shorty. Come on, you pup. Nice puppy. Come on, puppy. Come on, puppy. Come on here, Shorty. I'm gonna give you a bath. Get over there in that tub. Come here to me. You're gonna get a bath whether you want it or not. Come on here, pup. Come here to me. Come here, pup. Here, Shorty, come on. Nice puppy. Nice puppy. Come on, Shorty. If you ain't the beatin'est dang dog I ever seen. All morning I've been trying to catch you just to put you in that bucket. Poor little old outfit, don't you know this is for your own good? You loaded down with them dang kicks, and I'm just trying to get them off of you, that's all. Poor little old outfit, you.
Hi, brother. Are you still playing nursemaid to that little dog you found?
Well, I can't hardly help it none, can I, if this poor little critter hangs around. You smell something?
Oh, it's me. Yeah, I was setting some traps for the wolves that were bothering the cattle. Caught a skunk in one of them.
You sure did. Look here, when I get through with old Shorty here, why don't you jump in?
It's gonna take a lot more than soap and water to get me clean.
Well, this here ain't ordinary soap. This here soap's got sulfur in it. I was over at Baker's Flat the other day talking to that storekeeper, telling him about old Shorty's wood ticks, and he told me that stuff would take anything off.
Huh?
Yeah.
It'll probably take my skin off, too.
Hi, Pa. You talked to Andy? Yeah. Oh, Andy is going to honor that water agreement we have with him, just as I thought he would. I just can't figure out what got into Todd.
I can't either. Seems like he just doesn't want to get along with anybody.
Yeah.
But you two know what's wrong with Todd. He's in love.
Well, I wish it were that simple. Anybody smell skunk?
Oh, that's me, Pa. I caught a skunk in one of the wolf traps.
Well, if you're going to go to that social with us tonight, I think you better start getting cleaned up now.
Yeah.
Oh, you think somebody will mind?
Yeah. Listen, Adam, if Todd is at that social, and I think he will be, try to have a talk with him, as a friend.
Shorty, I know you ain't gonna never believe this, but this here's real good for you. Hey, now. If looks have anything to do with it, we sure gonna have us a time tonight, ain't we?
Yeah, but you just remember what I told you. You stand on your own feet, not the ladies.
Oh, you're a good one to be giving advice about the ladies. Well, with Virginia Keefe for 3 years, now old Todd's marrying her.
Well, I guess I just never got around to asking her.
He sure is a slow worker, ain't he, Paul? 3 years.
You through with that brush? Expecting somebody?
No. Oh, hi.
Boss? Hello, Ben.
Len?
Not interrupting anything, am I?
No, not at all. Just getting ready to go to the dance.
I'm taking Virginia in later myself. Wonder if I could have a private little talk with you.
Yeah, let's go get the horses ready.
Well, sit down, Len.
Thanks.
Oh, what's on your mind?
Well, Todd McCarran came to see me, and he's all upset about what happened between him and his father.
Well, I was a little upset myself.
I'm very fond of Todd. He's got a lot of character. He's extremely ambitious.
Len, sometimes ambition can drive a young man in the wrong direction.
But I don't think that's true in Todd's case. I consider him practically a member of the family. I'd be pretty careful of whatever opportunities I put in his way. Matter of fact, I wanted you to help me. In spite of what's happened, Todd's got a great deal of respect for your opinion.
Well, perhaps that used to be so.
Well, of course, he's a little high-strung, but you and I can understand that. We were young once, too. We saw what we wanted in life, and we went out and we took it. Now, nowadays, a young fella needs help to get started. I'm doing what I can for Todd. I thought you'd want to help, too.
That was a very nice speech, Keith. Now, what did you really come to see me about?
Well, I don't want anything for myself. I'm only here to help Todd. Old Andy McCarran does pretty much what you ask him to, now doesn't he?
Now, hold on. Andy McCarran has a mind of his own, and he's very capable of using it.
Yes, but you've got to make him understand something. By holding on to that land, he's jeopardizing his son's future.
Now, your interest and concern with Todd's future is most commendable. I've watched you over a period of years, Len. Making quite a lot of money. And ruin quite a bit of land. And quite a few people in the process. I'm not going to help you ruin Todd McCarran.
I always try reasoning first, Ben. If that doesn't work, I guess I can find some other way.
Boys?
Little Joe, you sure do smell better than you did this afternoon.
Well, thanks a lot. If you gentlemen will excuse me.
Yes.
Of course.
Hey, boy, I'm gonna see if I can't rustle me up one of them little fillies.
Have you had a chance to talk to Todd yet?
No. He's danced every dance with Virginia.
Excuse me, Adam. I think I've just found my filly.
Oh, Todd, you've danced my feet off.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that. I can't spare any of you.
Oh.
How about some more punch?
I'd love it. Adam, you're not dancing.
I'm having too much fun watching you two. You look very beautiful tonight, Virginia.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad you approve of my future wife.
Ah, you're lucky you proposed to her when you did. When are you two getting married?
When your father decides to let me run my own business.
Todd, that was a rather unpleasant thing to say.
Well, no, he didn't mean anything by it.
Didn't I?
Todd, let's dance.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Don't turn your back on me, Cartwright.
Now, look, if you're set on starting a fight, this isn't the place for it.
Oh, I think it is.
Todd! Dad, Mr. Cartwright, stop. They're waiting.
Hold it. All right, you two. That's enough. Todd, we don't want to fight you, boy.
And stay away from me, all of you.
Dad, take me home.
All right, Virginia.
Come on,
Forget it, Adam.
Well, let's have a little music.
Dad, I shouldn't have walked out on Todd like that. I ought to go back.
Well, this isn't the time, Virginia. My advice is to just let him calm down a little.
Dad, sometimes I wonder if your advice for Todd and me is really any good.
Virginia, what have I ever told you that hasn't worked out for you?
I'm not talking about something you can put your finger on. I'm talking about the way Todd has changed. The way he looks at me, the way he acts.
Well, of course he's changed. And all for the good. He's turning into the kind of a man I'd be proud to have as a son-in-law.
Would I be proud to have him for a husband?
Virginia, if I've done anything at all to hurt you, believe...
Well, I'm glad you're still here. I'd like to apologize.
It wasn't your fault, Adam.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way.
I don't think there's anything to be gained by discussing it any further. Let's go on home.
Dad, I'd like to talk to Adam.
Not tonight, honey.
Excuse me, Mr. Keith. I got to talk to you.
Well, can't I wait till morning?
No, sir, it can't.
Well, go on in, honey. I'll be right in. All right. What is it, Tucker?
It's about the cattle you just bought. Sun's come up. You better handle it.
That's enough, Roy.
After what he done, he could have poisoned half the men in your mine with them diseased cows.
Where's the beef now?
I put him up in the North Corral. I figure tomorrow I'll have him killed and buried. Tim along with him if I had my way.
Take him outside, Roy. And Roy, not a word about this to anybody. I suppose he claimed he didn't know the cattle were sick.
Well, what do you think? He probably rustled them 20 head to begin with.
All of them diseased, huh?
Well, you can't have one cow with Texas fever without them all getting it. They're crawling with ticks.
In other words, you put those sick cattle in with a healthy herd.
It spreads like wildfire.
I see. Tucker, I want you to ride that man out of town tonight and make sure that he never comes back.
Hey, sure. Well, Mr. Keith, there's only one way I know of to make sure.
I'll leave that up to you. Tucker, don't kill off any of those sick cattle until I tell you to.
Well, what can you do with sick cows?
Well, I thought I might get big-hearted and make a present of a couple of them to Ben Cartwright.
Well, you know what Cartwright would do if he ever caught us at it.
Well, don't let him catch you.
Them's big stakes, Mr. Keith.
Yeah, the biggest. Cartwright's always had everything his way. Let's see how he acts when he finds cattle being added to his herd instead of rustled away, huh?
I know he took the first swing at you, but I don't know if that's the way to handle Todd. I've watched both of you grow up, and I have just as much confidence in him as I have in you.
No, you have, but I don't have Glenn Keith telling me what to do.
Huh. Virginia's Keith's only daughter. I suppose you can't blame him for looking after her interests.
Look, Len Keith never made a move in his life that didn't benefit Len Keith first. And I'll tell you something else. It isn't just a little piece of land he's after.
He's an ambitious man. There's no question about that. The way he's extending his mining interests, it looks as if he wants to take over the whole Carson Valley.
Including the Ponderosa.
Adam, you and I both know that the Ponderosa is one piece of land he'll never get.
Dead, boy. Looks like Texas fever.
Texas fever?
Yes, sir.
We bought Texas cattle before. They've always been clean. You check the other stock?
A few more head showed signs of sickness. We cut them out of the herd. Probably have to destroy them.
There's no probably about it. That tick fever plague could kill every head. Not only in our range, it'd kill every herd in the territory.
Poor critters, they don't even know what ails them. Get out of here. Get out of here. Dang fool dog will have them ticks all over him.
Hoss, you remember that sulfur soap you used to wash down that dog?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm thinking that if that sulfur soap could wash the ticks off a dog, why not off cattle?
We can't scrub down every steer.
No, but we can dig a pit between the two corrals. Put in some water and a lot of sulfur, like a bath. Run the herd through one at a time.
Well, that'd take a powerful lot of sulfur.
Well?
But I reckon they ought to have it up at Baker's Flat. You want me to ride up there and see?
Yeah, you take the buckboard and haul as much as you can carry. Joe, you better get back to the herd. Have the men cut out every head that even looks sick.
Right, Pa.
Adam, you and me better get started digging those pits.
They're up to something.
Nothing they can do but start killing cows.
Yeah, maybe. We better stick with them and make sure.
Virginia,
You shouldn't be in here.
neither should you. Todd, I've looked all over town for you.
Everybody's staring at you. Come on.
Todd, what's happened to us? This just isn't like you, that fight with Adam and...
What are you doing? Taking sides with the Cartwrights like everybody else in this country?
Sides? What sides, Todd?
Don't you see what they're doing to us? Your father made me a good offer on that land. 3 times as much as it was worth.
Well, if I knew it was going to mean this much trouble, I'm sorry he did.
That's easy to say, but it's not so easy to live with. Virginia, I want to amount to something. I want you to be proud of me, the way you are of your father.
Todd, I'm proud of the man I fell in love with. A ranching man trying to build something for the future, his and mine. Now, if he starts hitting people and getting drunk the first time things don't go his way, well, I'll still love him because I can't help myself. But I won't be proud of him for it.
I've had enough speeches, Virginia. Please go on, honey. I'll see you after a while.
It's wonderful to see you, Virginia. Now that you're practically a part of the family, I never get to see you anymore.
Well, I've been meaning to get out to see you for a long time.
Oh, I know how it is, planning the wedding and everything. You know, it means a lot to me, having you for a daughter. Virginia, you and Todd having trouble?
Yes, we are, Mr. McCarran, and I just don't know how to handle it.
Now you know that all lovers have their little quarrels.
That's just the trouble. It isn't just a lover's quarrel. It's something that involves you and my father and a lot of things I just don't understand.
Oh, so that's it. It's about Todd selling this place, isn't it?
Why shouldn't he sell it? Why should such a simple little business transaction stir up so much trouble?
It isn't a simple thing, Virginia. It involves 2 different ways of looking at life.
It involves the Cartwrights, too, doesn't it?
Well, that's not the point I want to make. I'm talking about the land and a man's attitude towards it. Now, is this something to be torn up and cast aside? Or is it a place with a future? I mean a home for you and Todd and the children.
I told Todd that's all I wanted. I wish my father could see it the way you do. But he never will.
It's Todd that we must both be concerned about. Now, we must have faith in him and believe that he will do the right thing.
You're right. And I do have faith in Todd.
He's coming. Did he see you? I circled around. He's got that buckboard loaded down with bags of sulfur powder.
What for?
Don't know. I asked the storekeeper at Baker Flat. He said that Cartwright fella talked about washing his cows down with sulfur water.
Well, I don't know what good that'd do. But we better see to it that it don't happen anyway. You stay here. Get your rifle and keep down out of sight.
boss, you all right?
Yeah. I reckon I am now. Thanks to you coming along.
Hey, come on up and give me a hand. I was rounding up some strays and I heard the shots. Figured I'd better check on it.
Looks to me like I've seen that fella before, have you?
Yeah, I think he works for one of the mining camps. We better get that sulfur in. There's 2 more cows flopped over dead. They're not from the Ponderosa.
Them sick cows ain't ours?
No, looks like it's not. It's gonna be a lot of sick ones from our place, though. Let's get him in.
I'll get his horse.
I tell you, Roy's dead.
Did they see you?
Well, yeah, but they couldn't recognize me.
I can't take any chances. You saddle up my horse and get back to the bunkhouse and stay there. Keep out of sight.
Dad, your supper's getting cold.
Well, I'm sorry, honey. Something's come up. I've got to go into town.
But, Dad... Do you have to go right now?
I've got to. It's important. I just heard that a plague of Texas fever has hit the cattle around here. I've got to warn Todd and the other ranchers. I'll be right back.
Oh, here.
Are you drunk?
Virginia sent you...
No, she didn't, but something pretty important came up. I thought you ought to know about it.
You want a drink?
No, now listen to me, will you? I just heard that the plague's infected every head of beef on the Ponderosa.
Plague?
Texas fever. Cartwrights are working right now to try to save every head they can before anybody finds out about it.
Texas fever? How did it get started?
Well, who's the only outfit around here who trails in Texas cattle?
The Cartwrights.
That's just what I figured. A thing like this could be pretty dangerous, couldn't it?
It could kill every head of cattle in Carson Valley.
Is there any way of stopping it?
One way. Kill the sick stock.
There's no other way of protecting ourselves?
None that I know of.
Unless we kill off all the Cartwrights' cattle.
Oh, they never stand still for that.
No, I guess not. They showed that pretty plain.
What do you mean?
Well, a couple of my boys went up there yesterday. See how bad it was and try to help them out. And the Cartwrights shot one of them down.
Shot him? Why?
Well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it? They're trying to keep word of the plague from spreading.
Does the sheriff know about the shooting?
The sheriff? What good would that do? He's afraid of the Cartwrights just like everybody else around here is.
Yeah. Well, not me. I'm not going to stand by and watch my cattle die like flies.
Listen, don't do anything foolish. You can't stand up to the Cartwrights all alone.
I won't have to, not this time. No cattleman's going to stand by and watch his herds die off. Cartwright or no Cartwright.
Well, if enough of the other ranchers went in with you to stand up again...
They'll go in. I'll see to that. I've been waiting for you. I've been wanting to talk to you.
Well, I'm in a hurry.
I'm sorry I hit you. There was no call for it.
It doesn't make any difference.
But it does make a difference. I want to talk to you.
Well, later.
What are you doing?
We got trouble.
What kind of trouble?
I can handle it.
Don't turn your back on me. Tell me about it.
Oh, I haven't got time. I've got work to do.
Does it involve the Cartwrights?
Doesn't everything in this country involve the Cartwrights one way or another?
I have a right to know what it's all about.
There's tick fever on the Ponderosa. I've got to get to the other ranches and warn them so we can stop it from spreading to our stock.
Tick fever? How did it get started?
It must have come in on one of the herds the Cartwrights brought up from Texas.
Did you talk to Ben Cartwright?
One of Len Keith's men tried to. They shot him down.
I don't believe it.
I didn't expect you to.
Todd, you're declaring war.
Ben Cartwright did that when he brought in that sick herd.
I'm not going to let you do it.
Pa, I've got to.
This is that bushwhacker's horse we brought back. Take a close look at him.
ticks all over him. This horse was with tick-infested beef before he got here.
And that dead man could have told us how this plague got here.
Yeah. You find out who he was?
Well, he had a letter on him addressed to a Roy Wilkins.
Yeah, don't forget there was another man with him.
Adam, maybe you'd better get to Virginia City. See if you can track this other man down. If you can, bring him out here. Todd, clean them up, huh? Come on, let's get back.
Yeah.
All right, Frank. Send it through again. That's time through, boy.
Hello, Adam.
Give me a whiskey, Cosmo.
Yes.
Deal me out. It's getting late. I'll give you a chance to get even later.
Something on your mind?
You know a man named Roy Wilkins?
Roy Wilkins. Sure, I've seen him in here.
Who does he work for?
I don't know. Hasn't been around here very long. As a matter of fact, the only times I've ever seen him, he's always been with a fellow named Tucker.
Tucker?
Works for Len Keith.
Len Keith. Thanks.
Adam, I thought it was my father.
Evening, Jenny. Isn't he here?
Well, no, he's in town.
Listen, you know a man named Roy Wilkins?
Wilkins. There's a man named Roy I know. He's a friend of Tucker's.
Who's Tucker?
Well, he's Pa's foreman. He lives in that shack on the other side of the storeroom. Adam, what is it?
Well, this Roy Wilkins and one other man, maybe Tucker, I'm not sure, tried to kill my brother this afternoon.
That's impossible. Those men work for my father.
Excuse me. Hello, Tucker.
You're one of them Cartwrights, ain't you?
That's right. You know a man named Roy Wilkins?
What do you want here, Cartwright?
I want the man who was with Wilkins when they tried to ambush my brother.
I don't know anything about it.
Then you wouldn't mind coming back to town with me and telling that to the sheriff, huh?
No. I wouldn't mind.
I thought you missed him.
Dad. Adam, is he?
Yeah, he's dead. I wanted him alive. I was hoping he could tell me something.
Tell you what, Adam?
You think fast, Mr. Keith. Just like you shot fast a while ago. But when this plague trouble is settled, we're going to have a talk.
I wish you hadn't seen this, Virginia.
I'm sorry I had to see as much as I did.
I had to protect Adam. Tucker would have killed him.
Tucker had already dropped his gun. You killed him deliberately.
Oh, you're all upset. Now go on into the house.
You can't send me away like a little girl, Dad.
Don't try to understand it, you hear me? Now go on back into the house.
Now, I'm right and you all know it. If it was one of us had a sick herd on the range, the Cartwrights would be the first to yell, burn him out.
That ain't so.
Yes, it is.
Cartwright should have killed off his whole herd without us having to meet and talk about doing it for him.
You can't expect him to kill off healthy beef.
Who's to say what's healthy and what's not? Now, the Ponderosa's rich. It's got timber and enough money to restock its range. Most of us live on the beef we raise each year. Now, if we lose our herds, where's the money coming from to pay off the bank loans, to feed our families, to even get started again?
You really aim to ride against the Ponderosa?
If I didn't fight for my land and what's on it, I wouldn't hold myself much of a man. Anyone else feels the same way is welcome to ride with me.
We're with him, ain't we, men?
Not me.
All right. We'll meet at the north end of town, just after sunup. Every man bring a rifle and be ready to use it.
That's it, then. Come on.
Todd, what are they going to do?
Well, the Cartwright cattle are diseased. They're a danger to the whole range. So we're heading out to the Ponderosa in the morning to settle it one way or another.
You mean to fight the Cartwrights?
It looks that way.
Do you know how this plague got started?
It doesn't matter how it gets started. We just can't risk a plague spreading throughout the whole territory.
Todd, I think my father brought that plague to the Cartwright herd deliberately.
Did he tell you that?
Adam thinks so, too, only he can't prove it.
I already told you it doesn't matter who started the plague.
Todd, it does matter. The Cartwrights aren't at fault. They've been your friends for years, and what they need now is help, not threats.
Virginia, we have to look after our own interests.
That's what my father tells me. For years, that's what he told me every time he was doing something he was ashamed of. You're beginning to sound just like him.
I know what I have to do.
Yes, you do. But don't pretend it's to help those poor ranchers. It's just a fast way to make Todd McCarran a big man.
Virginia, I don't like what you're saying.
Then stop this before it goes any further.
It's too late now.
Pa's, is dipping doing any good?
It's funny, I was just thinking about that. I certainly hope so. You know what our cash situation is? If we were to lose any of our herds right now, it would pretty near wipe us out. Ride on out and see how the boys are doing with that herd in the North Quarter. I'll give Hoss and Little Joe a hand with the other herd.
We got more trouble than plague, Pa.
What now?
Todd McCarran and Len Keith have got everybody around here stirred up. There's a bunch of them riding this way, and they're all armed.
Don't they realize we're doing everything we can?
Pa, it's a mob. They're not going to stop and think. They claim they're going to kill every head of cattle on our range.
Well, then we'd better make them stop and think. Ride over to the house and get our rifles.
Who is it?
Virginia.
Oh, come in, Virginia. Well, what are you doing away out here, lass?
Mr. McCarran, you've got to do something. Todd...
What's he up to? He didn't come home last night.
They're riding on the Ponderosa, Mr. McCarran. Todd is leading them. You've got to stop him.
Stop him? How can I? He's a grown man. He's got to make his own decisions.
Mr. McCarran, I have no place else to turn. I love Todd. I thought you loved him, too. Unless you do something, we're both going to lose him.
An old man like me. How can I help him now?
Now is the time that counts, Mr. McCarran. Now is when he needs your help more than any other time in his life.
Remember, boys, no shooting unless I say so.
How do we know they want to talk?
We want to talk. Morning, Todd. You suddenly become a rancher, Mr. Keith?
I don't owe you any explanations, Cartwright.
You're the one to do the explaining, Ben. You brought the Texas cattle in.
There are no ticks on the ones we dipped. You want to ride in peaceful and see, you're welcome.
Seeing a lot of wet cows don't mean they won't all fall over tomorrow.
No, it doesn't. But if any of them come down with a fever, I'll kill every head that gets it.
That may be too late, even if you do what you say.
You doubting my pa's word, mister?
Easy, Hoss. You men try to take over my herd, you know there's going to be fighting. Men on both sides. Men we've known a long time. Could get hurt. Maybe even get killed.
That'll be on your head, Cartwright. Now get out of the way.
Todd? You know better than try to bluff me down.
This is no bluff.
Don't anybody else move.
Shoot him down, Todd. We'll back you up.
Todd, stop it!
You stay out of this, McCarran.
Keep away, Pa. This is between Adam and me.
If you're going to make a killer of yourself, you better start with me.
Your son picked his side, McCarran. Now, you've got no right to be here.
Pa, don't you know everything we've got is at stake?
I know that better than any other man here. Jameson, I passed by your spread coming here. Your stock's down with fever. Some of the others are also. Son, you better go home and take care of our herd. They're coming down with it fast.
I told you what would happen. And you can blame the Cartwrights for it.
Let's finish what we come here for.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You can kill off every head on the Ponderosa, but what good will that do you? I tell you that sulfur dip's working. It's saving our beef. It can do the same for yours. It's the only chance any of you have. You better take it.
You still handing out orders, Cartwright?
Don't back down from them.
Make up your mind, Todd. Whose side are you on, ours or the Cartwrights?
You don't have a side, Dad, except your own. He doesn't care about your cattle. He's only trying to destroy you so he can take your land.
We're not talking about land. We're talking about plague.
So am I, Todd. My father started it.
Virginia, you don't know what you're talking about.
She knows what she's talking about, all right. Her father killed Jim Tucker just to keep him quiet.
Adam!
Dad.
Virginia,
Dad?
That offer still goes. Bring your healthy cattle over here and we'll run them through that sulfur dip.
Does that go for the McCarran family too, Ben?
Of course it does. If it's all right with you, Todd. Turn around.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the last of the McCarran steers, Todd. Well, I'd kind of like to stay and help with the rest.
Hey, what do you say we take a break for some coffee?
Good idea.
Hey, Hoss, come on, coffee.
Well, you two are going to make mighty fine neighbors.
Thanks, Ben.
Doggone shame, ain't it, Charlie?
Yep, sure is. Doc said she had pneumonia. Time he got here, wasn't much to do but call the sheriff.
Well, didn't anyone know she was sick?
First thing anybody knew was him riding all the way in for the doc by himself.
Boy have any relatives?
Not a soul, Ben, except an uncle back east, and the boy's father, of course.
Well, where's the little fella gonna stay?
Well, how about it, folks? None of you want him?
We got our own to worry about.
Well, I guess I could put him up in one of the cells till his uncle can come get him.
He's only a little boy. He's all alone now. He needs a home and affection.
He's tainted, that kid. Bad stock, the whole tree goes rotten sooner or later. I don't want him around my home. Come on, Sarah.
Well, I can't stay here all day, Ben.
Sheriff, send for the boys, Uncle. I'll keep the boy with me on the Ponderosa.
All right. He's all yours, Ben.
It's a pretty flower.
Weeds will choke it out before it takes root.
Son, you'll be staying at my ranch till your uncle can come for you.
Pa said he'd come back for me. And I'm gonna be waiting right here until he does.
Well, we'll see. We'd better get your things from the cabin.
I'll go myself.
There's a lot of hate piled up inside that boy.
Yes, sir.
There.
It's nothing.
What is it, a secret?
It's nothing.
Well, you don't have to show it to me if you don't want it. Let's just have a little talk.
Mr. Cartwright, look, you've let me sleep here and you've let me eat here. All right, thanks. But I can do chores. I can help with
Now, hold on there. You don't have to pay me back. We're friends. I want you to trust me. Well, there's no one else left, son.
There is too. My pa.
Do you know where your pa is? Why he went away?
He had to go away. My ma said so. My pa promised he'd be coming back, though.
Well, you know, Billy, sometimes we promise things and we mean to keep the promise, but, well, something happens and we can't.
My pa promised he'd be coming back, and I'm gonna be waiting here until he does. He doesn't tell lies.
Why is he so touchy, Pa?
Hmm?
You want to get close enough to reach him with a 10-foot pole.
Well, how should I know why he's so touchy? If I knew that, I'd be so dang worried. Take your feet off the table.
Hey, Hoss, how do you suppose you and I grew up to be so sweet-tempered with such a grouch for a Pa?
Oh, no, little Joe. I reckon he must have been a mite more mellower when he was younger.
I guess I had that coming. That boy has me so worried.
When's his uncle coming?
Sheriff hasn't heard yet.
Well, look, he's got to know about his father sooner or later. Maybe you should just tell him.
Mr. Cartwright! Mr. Cartwright, come quick!
Hopsing's having trouble again.
Mr. Cartwright!
What is it? What's wrong?
Him bad. Him very bad boy.
Oh, what did he do?
He take Hopsing knife, the big knife.
What, the butcher knife?
I see him. I say you give back. He say no. Very sharp. You better get back quick.
All right, Hopsing, all right. Well, I've just got to discipline that boy somehow.
Wait a minute, Paul. Let me talk to him.
Well, don't you think I'm capable of talking to him?
Well, yes, sir, you are, but maybe you've been talking to us roughnecks so long you done forgot how to talk to a little feller.
No, maybe you're right. Go ahead. Hoss,
Yes, sir.
be careful of that knife.
Billy, did you find one of Hop Sing's knives out here?
I didn't find it. I took it.
Oh. Go ahead, let me see you chunk it. Go on. Hey, that ain't bad.
It's hard to throw.
Well, I don't wonder. Come here, let me show you something. See, this here knife's got a thick edge here on the back and a thin edge here on the front.
Sure. That's the cutting edge.
That's right. You see, this knife here was made for carving up meat, not throwing, not like an Injun's knife.
I didn't want it to throw. I wanted it to whittle.
Hey, how'd you like to have this one?
No, thanks.
Well, Billy, I wasn't going to give it to you. You got to earn it.
How?
Well, by doing some chores for me tomorrow.
Well, all right.
Here, go ahead and take it. You just hold on to it sort of as a loan till you can do them chores for me.
Thanks, Mr. Cartwright.
There's just one other thing. Son, it ain't right to take something that don't belong to you.
Let me take that knife back.
Let me take it in to him. Old Hop Sing's pretty riled up right now. Won't you let me take it in to him, then you can go by and tell him you're sorry later.
All right, if you want it that way.
Hop Sing!
Mr. Hoss, what happened to little boy? What you doing in Hop Sing kitchen?
I just brung your knife back, Hop Sing.
That's so? The little boy take knife. The big boy take a donut. Bad boy. Very bad boy.
I got some real important things to be doing, Hop Sing. I'll see you.
Who's there?
Me, Hoss.
Just a minute.
I sort of thought I'd come up and show you some real fancy whittling.
I'm sort of busy now, Mr. Cartwright.
Billy. Where'd you cut yourself, feller?
What do you mean?
Bill. Don't you think it's about time me and you quit playing around like a couple of puppy dogs? Don't know when they're fighting for real or just funning. Let me see it. I knew you'd cut yourself when I first come up here. I should have come right on out and said it in the first place. It hurt?
Nah.
Yeah, I got some medicine here for it.
Will it sting?
It's not a bad cut. They always seem like they bleed a little bit more when they're on the thumb, though.
Here's your knife back, Mr. Cartwright.
Billy, that wasn't your fault. It was all mine. Any fool ought to know better than to give a man something that he don't know how to use right.
I shouldn't have told you I knew how to use it.
Everybody makes mistakes, Billy. But it takes a real man to admit it. You go ahead and use that knife till I learn you how to use it.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Cartwright.
Hoss. If that thumb don't get to feeling better, you let me hear, you know? Billy. Are you hungry?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Well, what do you say me and you go down and get us a couple of them donuts while Hopsing ain't looking?
Would that be all right?
All right. Well, you'd be downright insulted if any of them things was left by supper.
Well,
Besides that, I'm bigger than he is.
you're about bigger than anyone, Hoss.
Come on.
Hey, Hoss, you want to see something?
Well, yeah, I reckon I do. What?
It's a picture of my ma and pa. Has Ellen and Vance on the back.
Your ma was a real pretty woman, Billy.
That's the only thing that's really mine. Except for this knife now. You know something? It sure is gonna be fun when my pa gets back. Ain't it?
Yeah, Billy. It's liable to be a while, though.
I can wait.
Come on.
Come on out, Vance. It's safe now. I said get out!
Safe if he's got something I can use on this iron. I can barely walk.
Old fool. You've come too far to play games. Here, stone chisel. That ought to do it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Plenty of paper money.
That's luck.
We can get straight to Sacramento now.
No, Pike. We agreed. I go for the boy first.
I ain't getting killed for no kid.
We need him, Pike. He can get food for us. It's a long way through those mountains.
You wouldn't try and lose me, would you, Vance? You know these mountains and I don't. How do I know you'll come back for me?
You keep the money here with you.
All right. I'll give you 48 hours. If you're not back, I go on without you. No money goes with me.
I'll be back.
Sure you will. Now, you better get that thing off your leg while I get us a change of clothes. Then you and me'll find me a place to wait for 48 hours.
Morning, Ben.
What brings you out our way, Fred?
It's not election time again, is it, Sheriff?
Where's the boy, Ben?
Oh, Billy? Oh, he's off fishing with Hoss. Say, did you hear from his uncle?
Nope, but we sure heard from his father. Him and a killer named Pike broke out of the penitentiary.
When?
3 days ago. And yesterday I got word a stagecoach was held up about 30 miles from here. Driver and guard both killed.
You think it was Vance?
I don't know, but there ain't been no trace of them since they killed a farmer right next to the prison.
Probably on their way to California. They'd be safe there.
That's what I figured. Vance knows this country well enough to slip right past us into the mountains.
Yes, he does, and there are 3 passes into the mountains from the Ponderosa.
I was hoping you and your boys would point him out for us.
Oh, well, we'll be right with you.
Thanks, Ben. We'll wait for you.
I'll take some men to the truckee. Adam, you and Joe will have to take the sheriff all the way to the Donner Gap.
I'll take a couple of days.
Hoss better look after the boy. I'll get back here as fast as I can. Tell Hop Sink to rustle up some food.
Right, Pa.
Hey, Hoss! Hoss! Got me another one, Hoss! Look. Best fisherman west of the Mississippi. Ha!
Hey, Billy! Billy, I done caught the biggest dang fish in the world. Hey, what are you laughing about? I got a real fish here. Not one of them puny little outfits like you got over there.
Ow.
Hear what I done caught. Well, I ain't never seen no fish like that before.
You're not sore, are you, Hoss?
Pistol, you know I ain't sore at you. I told you I'd catch something, didn't I? Even with my eyes shut. Now, I'll tell you what else I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw you out there with the rest of them fish. 1, 2, and 3. If I ever hear anything about this from Little Joe or Adam, I know a little boy that's gonna have a mighty sore bottom.
Oh, I wouldn't tell on you.
Well, I wouldn't spank you either, Billy. I was just teasing.
Hoss, I wish I were this happy all the time.
I do too, Billy.
Billy? Hello, son.
Pa!
I'll come back for you, just like I promised I would.
I knew you would, Pa. I just knew it.
Easy, boy. We can't talk much. I need your help, son.
Sure, Pa.
Do you think you can keep a secret? Just between the two of us?
Yeah, but there's something I gotta tell you.
About your ma? I know. I heard before I got here.
I couldn't help it, Pa.
I know. Listen. You gotta pretend you ain't seen me. You mustn't tell nobody, here? This is what I want you to do. Tomorrow night, I want you to make sure everybody's asleep. Make real sure. And get some food. Do you remember the cave on the back hill up Spider Creek that you and me found?
You mean our secret cave?
That's right. I want you to bring the food to me there. In a couple of days, You and me are going to California.
California?
I can't stay no more.
Pa? You didn't tell me where you were all that time.
Son, I kept my promise, didn't I? Like I said I would.
You sure did, Pa.
Trust me, son. I'll tell you everything later.
Pa?
I'll be waiting. And remember, son, this is our secret.
Hey, Billy, roll out. We got company.
Hello, Hoss.
Howdy, Mr. Sherman. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Orville?
Hello, Hoss.
Paul's got the contracts ready for you, Mr. Sherman. Come on in.
Good. Well, how's the lumber business?
Well, I don't reckon it can be any better, Mr. Sherman. These dang trees keep growing as fast as we can cut them.
That's good. Keep building in the city, and I'll make you Cartwrights the richest men in Nevada. Orville, wait outside here. Daddy won't be long. Hello, boy.
I'm Orville Sherman. Who are you?
Over here at the desk.
Sheriff must have sworn in a dozen extra deputies just to help find that boy's father.
Yeah. I reckon folks will be blaming them two convicts with everything that happens within a 100-mile radius of here.
Probably so. How's the boy taking it?
Well, sir, he just lost his maw. Don't seem hardly fair to me to have to tell the boy about his paw right after that.
I suppose not.
My father told me he broke out of jail. You're a liar. Your pa's nothing but a dirty old convict. He is not. He is not. Murder. You liar. You liar. Say it. Say he's a murderer or eat dirt. No. Say it. Say he's a murderer or eat dirt. No. Say it. I'll break your arm. Say it. Say he's a murderer. You're gonna eat dirt. Say it.
Orville!
He called me a liar, Pa.
I'm going to have to take a switch to you. Rolling around in the dirt like a barroom brawler. Now get in that buggy. Go on.
Billy, you all right?
He said my pa was a convict.
Are you hurt?
It's all right, Mr. Sherman. I'll take care of it. You go ahead.
Children can be very cruel sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Get up. He said my pa was a murderer. And that he had escaped from prison.
Billy, it's true. I should have told you a long time ago. They think he might be coming this way.
Couldn't make me eat dirt.
You're proud of that, ain't you?
No one's gonna say anything about my pa.
Billy, I ain't saying they should. The thing is that it don't matter what your ma or pa was, son, 'cause you ain't them. Now, my ma was a real pretty woman, but that don't mean that folks have got to enjoy looking at a big ugly cuss like me, does it? Don't you see what I mean, Billy? It's more important what you are than what your ma and pa was, or what people might say about them, good or bad.
But Hoss, my pa promised he was gonna come back for me. When he does, he's gonna explain everything to everybody.
We better get you fixed up. I hate to lose a hand with just me and you running this ranch by ourselves, wouldn't you?
It's just the two of us.
We haven't got any friends?
Folks ain't interested in you and me, son. They never was, and they ain't never gonna be.
Nobody?
Nobody.
Pa? Would it be all right if I said I love you?
Sure. It's a good thing. For a man and his son. To say to each other, we better get back to the cave.
Pa?
Yeah?
You said you were gonna tell me about where you've been.
You don't know?
A boy said you were a convict and a murderer.
Billy, I shouldn't have been sent to prison. But nobody cared. So that's why they sent me. It was pretty bad there, son, so I got out. And I come back for you like I promised I would.
I knew you would, Pa.
You'd have done the same for me, wouldn't you, son?
Sure. No matter what.
No matter what. You better get going.
Pa, do you have to go back to that cave?
Yeah. But maybe by tomorrow night, we'll have enough food so we can go to California. Now, you hurry. I don't want no one to find you gone.
Be back tomorrow, Pa.
Let me go, Hoss.
I ain't aiming on pulling this trigger unless you make me.
Don't you remember me, Hoss? I'm Vance Allen. I rented my farm from your pa.
I remember you, Vance.
You could say you never seen me.
I can't do that. I can help you turn yourself in and then do what I can for you.
I got a bad deal once, Hoss.
Vance, you got a fair trial. A jury found you guilty. Now, busting out of prison ain't gonna help you none.
I'll go to California. Nobody knows me there. I'll go through the mountains. Nobody's got to know.
What about the little boy?
I won't wait for him. I'll go now. I'll send for him later.
He brought you that food, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good boy. You could tell him, Hoss. He'd understand.
Vance, it just ain't no good. Come on, let's go.
Can't you understand? They kept me in a cage like an animal. I had to get up when they say, eat when they say, sleep when they say, work when they say. I can't go back!
Lance.
Good morning, Mr. Cartwright. You take enough food along?
Yes, everything was fine, Hobson. House up yet?
He never get up until he smell cooking.
The other boys get back?
No, sir.
Well, I'm hungry enough for 3 people. Unsaddle the horse to see that he's fed. Oh, Hoss, I thought you were upstairs asleep. What are you doing up? Vance.
Paul, I couldn't help it. He pulled a gun on me, Paul. I didn't even have time to aim.
Sure, son.
He came back for Billy just like he said he was.
Better tell the boy.
And Paul, I'll tell him. Ain't nobody can do it for me. Billy?
Oh, Billy. He's dead, son.
It's your horse.
I'm sorry, Billy. I'm terrible sorry.
You said you were my friend. You knew he was coming back for me. You killed him.
Billy, he didn't leave me no choice. I'm terrible sorry, Billy. I'd do anything to bring your Paul back to you, but I can't. I'm sorry.
I hate you, Aunt. I hate you. I hate you. Kill my Pa. I hate you. You killed him.
I'm sorry, Billy. I'm terrible sorry.
I hate you.
All right, Billy.
I wish I were big enough. I wish I were big enough to kill you, Aunt.
Boss, it's not your fault.
Leave me alone, Paul.
Boss, that boy was not responsible for what he said. You did what you had to do.
Paul, I ain't never had to do anything like that. I hope I never have to do it again. I didn't even sight my gun, boy. I just pulled the trigger.
And if you hadn't, he'd have killed you.
If I hadn't have butted in, he never would have drawed on me, Paul.
Boss, Vance was a fugitive from justice. You obeyed your duty to the law.
There ain't no law that says I can go out and take a man's life away from him. I ain't got no tin badge that says it's all right for me to kill a little boy's paw. A little boy that trusted me.
I wish I had some words to take your pain away, Arthur.
What am I going to say to him? What's he going to think about trusting folks and letting folks be his friends now after what I've done to him?
What did you think when your mother died?
I thought the world had come to an end.
But you got over it. And so did I.
Paul, I can still feel him little fists hitting and hitting me. And it hurts, Paul. It hurts worse than anything.
I know, son, I know.
I've been sitting here praying as hard as I know how that God would tell me what to say to him. We was friends, Paul. I killed his papa with that. Paul, I got these big hands, Paul, and I can lift a heifer clean off in the ground. And I can whip most near any man I ever met. But I'd cut them both off if it'd make that little boy quit looking at me like he wanted to spit. Why don't God help me, Paul? Why don't he tell me what to say? Why do I have to just be a big, dumb hoss.
There's nothing you can say. He'll have to understand by himself.
Hoss, do you want me to go along with you?
No, thank you, Paul.
All right, I'll go on ahead. I'll try to find Adam and Little Joe. What about the boy?
He's gonna come along with me. Billy, we better get going. I reckon we ought to let these old ponies rest here a minute. Still cool.
Howdy. Sure, I'm glad to find you, mister. Near dying of thirst.
What happened?
My horse broke his leg last night. I must have got lost. Who you got under there?
It's Vance Allen. He's one of the two escaped convicts the sheriff's looking for.
What about the other one?
I don't know.
Well, you sure are lucky, mister. You just found me. I'll try anything. Now put your hands in the air. You, kid, keep your mouth shut.
Mister, the sheriff's got every man in this country looking for you. You ain't got a chance.
Oh, you're wrong. I've got every chance now. I've got all this and you to show me through the mountains instead of Vance Allen.
That's where you got it wrong. I ain't helping you.
Oh, you're gonna help me, all right. Or I'll kill the kid right here.
You what?
I ain't no pushover like Vance Allen. Now, what's it gonna be? The kid? Or are you gonna show me through those mountains?
Run, Billy!
You're the one I need now. It may take me a while to convince you, but you'll show me through those mountains, won't you? It's Billy.
Oh, Billy, what are you doing out here?
Where's Hoss?
It's with that other man, back in the woods.
What other man?
The one that was with my pa.
Where are they?
Can you lead us back to where they are, Billy? Now, listen to me, boy. That man is desperate. Now, he could kill Hoss. I want you to lead us back to where they are.
Hoss killed my pa! I hope he does kill Hoss! I hope he does!
Did you hear what I said, Billy?
Take it easy, Pa.
Billy! Billy! Billy, Hoss is my son. And to you, he's big and tough. But he's my boy. Now, I know how you felt about your father. You loved him, no matter what he did. And he loved you. And that's a good thing between a father and a son. Now, Billy, that's the way it is between me and my boy. No matter what you think of him. I love Hoss, Billy. He's my son. Now, you understand how I feel? I'm begging you to save his life, Billy. You're the only one who can.
I'll show you. That man, he's beating her.
Well, big boy, did you have enough? You gonna take me through those mountains now?
Hoss.
Easy, boy. Easy. You took quite a beating.
I reckon I'm lucky. My old head's as hard as it is, Paul.
We'd have never found you if it hadn't been for Billy.
He's a good boy.
He's gone. We better go after him.
Wait. Let me go. Billy, you can't catch many fish without a pole, can you?
You're alive.
Yep, I'm alive, Bill.
My father. He was like that man, wasn't he?
Boy, I reckon he had a little mean streak in him, Billy, but lots of folks do. Billy, your papa loved you, son.
But he did come back for me, didn't he?
You bet he did.
Can I go back to the ranch? Until my uncle comes?
Come on,